Join us on the Ari'ze Women Network, where our special guests will be speaking about economics, gentrification, colorism, film reviews, health and wellness, reparations, celebrity news, and entrepreneurship. Thank you, and be sure to tune in. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Ari'ze Women Network. I am Queen Smothers. I took me a while to really decide I would go ahead and speak on this beautiful young man, Malcolm Jamal Warner. First of all, I want to say rest in peace to the family. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I know he has a mother, he has a father, of course, but his mother primarily raised him, from what I'm told, and that he pretty much took upon the role of Theo in the Cosby Show, and he gravitated, of course, toward Bill Cosby, who played his father. On the Cosby Show, and played a big role in shaping this young man, his maturity, and his seriousness and acting, and this young man has a life that it just seemed like he was living the dream life, and I'm sure that he had some issues and he had problems. And it wasn't with anything that is out of the norm, but the way that we all deal with life living in America as Black Americans, we all deal with it differently. Him being a young man, I'm sure he had issues with the atrocity and things that he saw in America. Being a Black actor, being on stage, being on film, and having to hide all of that anguish and then go out and do his work, that in itself had to be quite amazing to tackle and to deal with. As we know, Malcolm Jamal Warner lost his life on July the 20th due to a supposedly drowning that occurred in Rica. My first question, why was he in Costa Rica? Oh, they say he was on a vacation, which I'm sure that he needed to take a break from life. As we know how Hollywood is, Hollywood will put you on a pedestal when you're up there, and they will knock you off when you're at a low point. So we're going to talk about it. The story's not adding up. There are too many moving parts to this drowning, allegedly, that took place. too many moving parts, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna tell you guys what God told me about Hollywood and about those of you who are interested in going into the entertainment business. Hold on to your hat. Hold on a moment, because we're gonna talk about it. So come back. I want to hear your opinions, but we got to talk about this baby because this young man, he reminds me of my son. In fact, one of my sons' name is part of his name, Jamal. And every time I see his picture, I think about my twins. So we're gonna talk about this. The story's not adding up, and we finna get down to brass tacks. There's too many moving parts to the story, and I will come back in the shade. Okay, and I'm back. And what we're gonna do, we're going to go to a news story that that is this is like a background RIP, and now all of a sudden they want to give him an award for his podcast, and I'm going to we're going to go to that really quick. Let me just make sure I pull it up. You have the pictures here. I'm gonna stop sharing this for now. So basically, they're saying that Malcolm Jamal Warner, of course, they said that he passed by drowning in Costa Rica. Different parts of the story. First, he was on a trip with his family, wife, and daughter, and then all of a sudden, well, they said that he decided that morning to go out for a swim. I don't know too many people who go for a swim early in the morning, especially in the ocean when there are no lifeguards. And supposedly, there was a young man with him that went with him, and then all of a sudden he went swimming by himself. And then they said he went swimming with his 8-year-old daughter. So the different moving parts, the story is not adding up. It's not adding up, and I'm not happy about it. It's like we take a breath. We have these different celebrities that die. We have people in our family that may have passed or experiencing health issues, friends and family, and then we got the different things going on in the world, and then we've got to deal with the shenanigans with Hollywood. And I say Hollywood is because the things that they make people go through just to survive, just to make a living. It's ridiculous. People are out here just really trying to make an impression in others' lives through theater, through filmmaking, through writing, and of course, the powers that be, that when it's all about money, that's what their focus is. Their focus is how many dollars can we bring in? But you know what? In this case, dear, the numbers are not adding up. The story is not adding up. And God said He wanted me to tell you guys that the numbers are not adding up. Let me get my notes now. Let me make myself a little bit bigger because I want you guys to understand that God knows. God knows what is happening. He knows what is going on in the world. He knows who is being fraudulent or who is taking advantage of these young souls that have a thirst for theater to entertain you, to show you love, to do their poetry and spoken word artists, to be musicians, just for the love of creativity. But these powers that be, they want to come up and they want to, uh, you know, just really, take something that is sweet, that is an art from God, that is a talent from God. They want to corrupt it. They want these young people to lose their souls for what? For $1. And I'm sure that's not what's in their minds when they get off these boats, when they get off these trains and planes and come to, realization that, hey, maybe I can offer something to life. Maybe I can offer someone to feel the love and the adrenaline I feel for life. This young man, when he came up, he had that talent. I mean, he really captured me on uh, on the Cosby Show. In fact, the Cosby Show caused a lot of people, a lot of young people, to go to college from the Hillman College that that they portrayed, even in a different world. They people will tell you, a lot of young black people tell you who are older now, who are adults and have families and kids, will say the reason why I went to college was because of Hillman College, because of the portrayal on the Cosby Show and on the Different World show produced by Bill Cosby of going to college to get your education. A lot of people will tell you that. So throwing people under the bus, I know exactly what Malcolm was feeling. Uh, that family on that show was his whole life besides his mother. The people on that show. And when Malcolm decided to do other things, when he was unpopular, when Hollywood decided for whatever reason they wouldn't cast him in different shows, I already can know the story. Because at one point, it's like he disappeared from film and from TV. When you get older, when you get bigger, blacker, and then your face start coming in, and your nose get, and they feel like, oh well, this is not the look we want. But this was a beautiful young man. I'm gonna make his picture a little bit bigger. This was a beautiful young man, and he should have been um, out there more. He should have had roles. I even see him in T'Challa as T'Challa. I could see him playing the Black Panther. I'm gonna go to one of the pictures that he has, uh, where he looks like T'Challa, uh, Chadwick Boseman in the Black Panther. But we're gonna go to the story. This story is, and I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. This story is about all of a sudden, after Malcolm Jamal Warner's death, they decided that they will give him honor him. And here it is with US Weekly via Yahoo. Malcolm Jamal Warner is honored for endless curiosity and warmth in podcasts after his death. And see, this is where the shenanigans begin too. Because this brother was telling it how it was and how it is. He wasn't playing. Ain't no warmth. Okay, he's generally warm. You could feel his personality through his mood, through his stage stage plays and through TV and the roles that he played. He's warm, but the brother's serious. The brother got a lot on his mind, and we all know that we have went through things with going through with the many black men that they have. We have seen taken unalived on city streets while in their cars, and women as well. And all of us have had feelings about this. Don't think this young man didn't have no feelings about those things. So his podcast and his spoken word poetry, it emulated how he was feeling, and it wasn't too pretty all the time. It was real, it was raw. And so we're just going to go to the story real quick. Malcolm Jamal Warner is honored for endless curiosity and warmth in podcasts after his death. Malcolm Jamal Warner has been honored by his friends and former colleagues in a live podcast at almost a week after his death. A live episode of his story, of his podcast, okay, it was honored, a live episode of his Not All Hood, which he acronym NA. Not All Hood podcast dropped on Friday, July the 25th, and was led by his co-host Candace Kelly. Actress Jessica Measle, who worked alongside Warner in The Resident, paid tribute while appearing on the podcast. I was struck by his endless, excuse me, I was struck by his endless curiosity and his warmth and his elegance, but mainly his ability to make me and others feel like an equal. I never felt like he was looking down at anybody else, Miso said. What's the point in even saying that? Ma, I can never think of anything, any episode, any movie in which Malcolm Jamal Warner was looking down on anyone. Okay, he was trying to let you guys know that y'all was looking down on Black America. That's what he was trying to show. That all the different things that we have witnessed, the unaliving of our black men and women on the city streets, on wherever they were, and the way Hollywood is set up, the roles you have to take, thinking that everybody is hood and casting you as hood, and if you don't cast as hood, you lose money because you want to be real and be yourselves. He had to deal with that. And when the thing happened with Bill Cosby, with the essay accusations and the sentencing of his mentor and father figure, I'm sure that hurt him. I'm sure that had a lot to do with him not getting roles, getting cast, his money being cut short, with them not re-airing the old episodes of the Cosby Show. That hurt him and his cast members' pocketbook. But see, nobody wants to talk about that. People like D.L. Hewley getting on podcasts and putting down the man, Bill Cosby, and I'm not uh, giving him the green light that it's okay, Bill Cosby, for whatever he did to these women. God is a judge, but these people, the cast members like Malcolm Jamal Warner, they took a financial hit. They took a financial hit with what happened, and I'm sure that it affected him. I'm sure people on the street saw him. Oh, there's Theo. And then using that Theo name, people need to come up off of stop using people's stage names. They are real human beings. He was given that powerful name, Malcolm, and he lived up to it. Malcolm Jamal Warner. That name, the middle name is God with us, Jamal. That's what it means in Hebrew. So he displayed that, but he had to live up to somebody else's failure, also his mentor. I'm sure getting approached on the street, not getting cast in roles, losing money from not re-airing the old episodes of the Cosby Show and the Malcolm and Eddie Show. He said on one of his podcasts they stopped that show at 88 episodes. If they had went to 100 episodes, they would be getting residual. So him and what is this young man? Eddie Griffin and Jamal Warner did not get their residuals for Malcolm and Eddie because they stopped it at 88 episodes instead of 100. You see the games that people play? The games that the industry plays, you guys better think about it before you want to get into the industry because the industry ain't playing. Once you sign your name on the dotted line, baby, they will take over and they will have you, thinking one thing is one way and it's another way. So, I wanted to come forth and just let you guys know, we're tired out here. We're tired of seeing our young people get taken out. The rap artists also, they're cutting them short. I guess they cash in their insurance. But the story with Malcolm Jamal Warner is not adding up, and we're gonna come back and talk about it more. We're gonna dig deep in and find out what happened on that ocean, what happened on that beach, because I don't know how you go from being caught up in a ripped current and being pushed out to shore to all of a sudden you're on the beach, but then they said the daughter was saved. Did they go in the ocean and save the daughter, but didn't save him? If not, why not? Why weren't there lifeguards? There is enough money being made in Costa Rica and in these little small Bohemian countries that they can have a lifeguard. You want to send people back to their country? keep a few here who are good, who don't have a record, who don't not crazy and unalive people. Keep those good people here. If they can swim, put them on the ocean. Pay them a little more than minimum wage and give them a little maybe box home or something. Or give them food, and they will sit on that beach and they will be there and be the lifeguards. This world is just horrible. And God is saying that guess what? The numbers are not adding up and they're not going to add up. The numbers are not going to add up of what the industry says they're going to pay you. The numbers are not going to add up as far as people's lives are going to be cut short. And it's just unfortunate. I'm glad that this young man didn't have to live through any other atrocity or rejection or anger or hostility or whatever, them dicing his words up in his poetry words. I'm glad he doesn't have to live that. I'm glad. I'm sad he's gone, but I'm glad that he served his life purpose and he lived up to that name, Malcolm. Malcolm Jamal Warner, your life is not in vain. We're going to talk more about it, and I'm going to play this poem that I wrote for Mr. Warner called Brother Malcolm. And we're going to come back a little later and do that. And thank you for joining us and join in on the chat. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel because we're going to keep this conversation going until we find out exactly what happened that day. I am so glad that this young man don't have to run for his life no more. I'm so glad that he learned not to trust in man's promises, but to trust in God's promises. I believe this young man did have a connection with God. I'm sure at some point he was probably angry. I could feel it. I could hear it in his poetry. I could hear it. I could see it in his eyes. But at some point, he came to the realization that he was just going to live and be as happy as he could be, and not accept roles that he didn't want him make, or cut his beard, or whatever they wanted him to do. He was done, and that's one reason why he probably went to Costa Rica to enjoy life and to have some peace. But guess what? That's okay, Malcolm. You don't have to run no more, boo. Well, God got you. God's promises are real, people. God's promises are real. And I'm just so glad that we know who we are and who we are. We belong to the Father Almighty. We belong to God. Yes, we do. And God got us. He's going to continue to have us. We're going to continue this conversation. We're going to find out exactly as the layers, as they keep peeling back and adding and taking away to what happened with Malcolm Jamal Warner. We're going to get down to brass. So we're going to find out exactly what happened. So rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner, actor, director, spoken word artist, musician, son, and father. We love you, and we know that you will, we'll see you in another time and era. God took you, He needed you, and He needed you more than we did. And we're sorry for you not getting all the praise, the recognition, and honor that you deserve. We love you. And I say thank you guys for joining me on the Rise Women Network. I want you guys to remember your ancestors. Bring your ancestors back into your memory and let them know that, hey, I need help. Bring God in your life. Begin to have a relationship with the Lord, so He will know what is it that you can do to make your life better and to not hold on to anger, and know that you are loved. God loves you. He loves all of us. And He got us. That's one thing I wish I could have told Malcolm Jamal Warner if he was here among us, that, you know what, boo? God got you. God got you. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So we're going to talk more about turning your pain into purpose, turning his pain into purpose. We see that Malcolm Jamal Warner at least knew that expression beats depression. This is why spoken word is so important. Doing poetry, expressing how you feel and not holding it within. Expression is important. So we're going to talk more about the story not adding up as the story pieces keep getting peeled back. I want to thank you guys for joining me on the Rise Women Network, and be blessed. And know that you are loved by God. God Almighty, He see it all, baby. He got it. He got us all. And everything is really going to be okay. When it's all over, it's going to be all right. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Many are called and few are chosen. So make sure that you tune in. We're going to talk about we turn our pain into purpose. We're going to talk about how we are moving with purpose. And know that your life is important to God. No more shrinking to yourself. Malcolm didn't shrink to himself. He continued with his life. He did his thing, baby. He continued with life. He had a family, he had kids, and he did, what God wanted him to do. He didn't hurt nobody. He didn't abuse nobody. Remember who you are and whose you are. Trust in God's promises and not man. And thank you, and be